a little casual video. We have some footage of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival Parisian afternoon. We are currently
on Earth.
Yes.
The French Quarter, Disney Hotel.
So you can see there's a little bit of concept art behind us. I don't know if that's like Blue Bayou inspired concept art, like Disneyland style, but it's pretty nice. Today we went to our first food and wine special event, which was located inside the Monsieur Paul restaurant in the France Pavilion. The reason that I picked this over the breakfast is the breakfast is almost the same price. It's a little bit cheaper, but Leal has a really great breakfast anyway, so I figured why spend the extra bucks for pastry when I can get it there anyhow. And there's also a French family traditions meal, which I think is more expensive. So the way that it works is you have 3 courses.
3 courses.
It's advertised that there are mimosas, coffee, tea, iced and hot. Sodas. Available for drinking, all included in the price, which currently is $55 a person.
Can you make my cartoon eyes go like this?
But $55 a person to eat at Monsieur Paul is, I think, pretty unheard of for 3 courses. So they advertise all of those drinks as options when you come, but what we found is that all of the servers really want you to have that mimosa.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is a at least linear, if not exponential, positive relationship between the amount of alcohol that they can get you to consume and your chances of saying that you had a good experience and coming back the next year. So they really try to pour that champagne down your gullet.
Yeah, we noticed the further into the meal that we got, the clearer our mimosas were getting. That is, the less OJ that they would put in it and the more champagne. So it was almost like once those champagne bottles were opened, they were probably trying to empty them. We'll just go through courses now, I guess. Or should we go through practical experience?
I don't know what practical experience is.
Okay, so this is what I mean by practical experience.
I tried in Paris, and in a lot of hotels, we have this kind of afternoon teas, and what I really like is when we have all these small portions and you can try everything. So that's kind of the idea we wanted to do. So
when you make your reservation, they're going to tell you that it is non-refundable, that it cannot be rescheduled, etc., etc. Okay, my experience with Disney dining is that they are very forgiving if you have a reason.
Cheer up.
They're usually very accommodating. That's not a guarantee from me, thank you very much. I don't really know anything for certain. I just have my own experience.
That's a money back guarantee.
But I got sick the week before we were supposed to go, and so I called Disney Dining and said, I'm not going to make it this weekend. Is there any possible way that this could be rescheduled? And it was like, sure, let's see if we have space. Don't ever be afraid to call Disney Dining if you need to make any adjustments to your plans. That would be my first thing.
Unless you're running from a T-Rex and you don't want to make any sound so that it'll hear you, then you should be afraid to call Disney Dining, because that would probably make enough sound that the T-Rex would know where you are and could then get you. So that's an exception to that rule.
So the next thing, the dining reservation, was scheduled on My Disney Experience for 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. You can't check in with them before 1:30. They were literally keeping those doors closed at Monsieur Paul until 1:30. And I know because it was hot outside and there was a big line of foremen. So if you have the reservation for 1:30, don't feel like you need to show up early or it's all going to go to pot, just for your peace of mind. The other thing that I thought I should mention, if you haven't been to Monsieur Paul, it is in the France Pavilion.
The entrance to Monsieur Paul's is literally opposite the entrance to the normal French dining restaurant downstairs. So if you see the entrance to the downstairs French dining restaurant, literally walk around to the back of the building and the entrance to Monsieur Paul's is there.
Yeah, under a black awning. There you go. That's good. The other practical thing that I think you should know is if you are dining with a small party, as we normally are, you will be sitting with other people. So similar to Beer Garden, where we've gone several times before, and if you've seen our Epcot video previous to this, you know that we enjoy. It looked like there's grouping people.
I think they filled
in
all
6.
the tables. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
So I don't know
So-
if you had 5. I don't know what they would do. I don't know if there's any single people but
I mean, there very well could be. I feel like there's a lot of like vloggers or like Disney food obsessed people who would just go by themselves just cause. Yeah, unless you have a party of 6 or more, you're going to be dining with other people that you do not know. But don't worry, because like we said, there's lots of
One of my
mimosas.
favorites is the spinach bread. I mean, it's all made with fresh spinach. That's why we have this nice color. And
Okay, so you're seated down. What they did is they have someone who's kind of your host for the afternoon, and they sort of walk you through the menu as you receive your courses and explain them. And then at the end, the chef came out and gave his 2 cents. So that was pretty neat, and we'll have some footage of that as well. First course. First course was a cold zucchini soup with a curried whipped cream and a fennel, I think, bread, which was phyllo. What are you smiling about?
just doesn't sound like something that I'd be like, oh, yes.
But that's fun. That's the funny thing. The chef at the end was like, my goal with this menu was to make something that you were not excited to eat.
Yeah, he said,
It sounds
I
backwards.
wanted to make you eat something that you wouldn't order. It's pretty good. I've basically finished everything on my plate before anyone else finished theirs, so I guess I enjoyed it pretty well.
And
Yeah.
moved to Florida, that was back in 2002, 2003. And it's hot about 6 months a year, and it's really hard to have hot soup. So we decided to do, and the events are held in October, November, so we decided to do cold soups. So this year we work on a spicy zucchini. It's not something you can have very often. So
I thought it was tasty. It almost looked like a little cup of hot cocoa.
Green hot chocolate. It looked
was-
like green hot chocolate.
It was really precious.
I made a joke and I said, my hot chocolate turned green, and nobody laughed.
Second course. Second course was an assortment. It was a cold and hot plate.
So a lot of friendships, together. And then we started to come up with crazy ideas.
There was butter lettuce. Hot items, there was a warm mushroom cupcake. That's what they called it. Call it like a
It
little
was
muffin.
good. That was probably my favorite thing on the plate, besides the buttered lettuce.
If you like mushrooms, you'll like it. There was also a classic French croissant with a lot of fresh herbs in it. So really crispy, crunchy. Anyway, it was really great. There was a salmon, I want to say mini brioche bun, and then
A yellow sandwich, a green sandwich, and a candy cane looking sandwich.
the yellow sandwich was a curried chicken sandwich. The green sandwich was a ham sandwich.
It had tarragon on it,
And yeah, this is not a tarragon guy. I love tarragon. You either like it or you don't, I feel like.
that sounds like a planet from Star Trek.
Tarragon. And then the candy cane looking one was a beet and carrot sandwich. It was very fresh.
It
There
had
was
a lot of
fresh
other
herbs
stuff
in
inside
it.
it though too.
So that one was very light and refreshing compared to the other things on the plate. The chef commented on that bread that it was very difficult to get the perfect little cute swirl on it. So everyone thought that that was all ooh and ah. The final course, the third course. course,
Right here.
yeah, I actually have a little styrofoam box.
I'm so excited. You're going to see it right now.
I was so full by the end. All that I ate was my pot de creme. It was a chocolate pot de creme, like classic, but then they put like a cream on top, like a foam that was like a coffee cream. And if you are a coffee lover, that alone was like, oh, enough. All of the women who were at the table were coffee drinkers, and we were all like, what is this?
As are 99.9% of Americans. Down with tea.
Amazing.
Throw it in the harbor.
It makes sense because they said that the chef who came out to talk to us at the end, I'll have to look into his name because I feel bad that I'm not remembering it now.
Chef
Don't. So they said that he is one of the top 10 pastry chefs in all of the United States, I think. And they were saying that he was going to go to France and compete in their like pastry world games, basically. So that was kind of exciting. I have some of the desserts here. There was also a trio of macarons, which I believe were lemon, blackberry, and chocolate. Two little wrapped chocolates, 2 truffles, one of which was white chocolate, and then I believe the other...
They look like marbles that they had cut in half.
They're adorable. And then what else was there? Was there something else? Oh, yes. And then the this looks like egg. It looks really bad. We had to walk through the park with it after, and it was really hot, so it doesn't look pretty at all. Anyway, let's pull that apart. Oh no, it's been through a lot. Don't let this.
I remember the chef's name. It's Chef Ben Kuchen.
As soon as he looked me in the eyes, I knew he was lying. So the choux pastry, I believe he said, was like an orange and milk chocolate kind of combination, because he said that was his favorite. He said the reason for making a lot of the things that he picked too seemed to be because it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. He said that a lot. Like salmon, I think it was. He was like, because salmon and dill is one of my favorites. It was like, I love how it was justified. Everything was like, because it's one of my favorites and I'm top 10, so I know what I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, you do.
I didn't eat all my dessert because I'm not a big dessert person.
Yeah.
If I had stuffed all the dessert, maybe I would have been full.
I was full. The amount of food is comparable to the afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian, if you've ever done that. And I think the cheapest one of those is $35. So if you go to that and you feel stuffed at the end, or you feel like super satisfied, then I would say this is a comparable amount. Would you say that's fair?
They are similar.
So yes. Thanks for watching. We hope it was helpful, and we'll see you next time.
Da, 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 da. Hey guys, I'm in my underwear right now. It looks like I'm nicely dressed, but I'm not wearing any pants.
Say something relevant, or else it's going to take a while.
Something relevant.
Thanks. With ham sandwich just sounds funny. That sounds like a joke. Ham sandwich.